Hello, welcome to a review for, as you can see in the title, In My Bloody Runs, about a 10-year-old Indigenous boy from the Aratha tribe or mob um, in Alice Spring. Well, the boy lives in Alice Spring with his grandmother and his mother, and he is defined as this troubled boy where we see in the documentary his grandmother and his mother are constantly looking for him or receiving phone call from the school saying that he'd run away from school. So we can see that Juwan is a little bit distracted in school. He doesn't necessarily follow through. The issue that was presented, the issue that the documentary tries to present in the beginning, that the school doesn't incorporate proper indigenous cultural education in the school, and you saw that with the white teachers who are like just completely disconnected and distanced to it. They read it from a book and not know what they're talking about. And the book that they most of the education that is taught to them, it is from the white perspective. So in other places at home, when they told the stories by their family and stuff, it's told in a different light, so they're not very interested in it. And plus the school seems to have shown a very limited resources in activities that the children can get involved with, or other forms of education such as such as art, music and sports. There seem to be very limited resources with that. So they have to conform into just academic, this white Australian academic education, where a lot of them, the family at home don't necessarily have the same education or even had followed through with that education. So there's no one at home to continue to nurture or to explain it better, because the school surely doesn't have the resources to have extra teachers, supported teachers, and after school situation to support that, to support those who are finding it a little bit difficult to grasp, like Juwan. Juwan also has these healing powers that were supposedly passed down from his grandfather, so he has that responsibility to heal his family. But the healing power, from what the documentary had shown, apart from the times when they go to the homeland, and where there's another healer there that helps to nurture it or check the level of it or whatever it was that she was doing. There's no one else really nurturing and guarding and teaching him. And normally in other tradition, and even in the indigenous tradition, if you have healing power, there's an elder there that helps to guide you with it and helps you to learn how to use it. But his world just seemed like he's just threatened all the time. If you don't go to school, you go to juvie. If you get angry and lose your temper, your power can really harm somebody. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you do this, that will happen. It's just everything is threatened. You can't do this. You can't go off and hang out with your friends because the army and the police are gonna arrest you and you're gonna get in trouble. He's very caged. He seems to be very caged, and this must be the reality of young black boys in the Northern Territory, right? They just ostracized all the time. They are not free, and that must be very frustrated, and I could see the frustration in him. And on the other hand, and what's going on in his own community, what's going on in his own culture, we see his auntie who was in hospital who got stabbed. It wasn't very clear who stabbed her or how she ended up in that situation. But just from what Juwan had mentioned, when he was going to see her in the hospital, he says, I hate alcohol. When I get older, I'm not even going to see a drop of it. And I assume, I'm not sure, and I assume she was stabbed by a husband or a partner who was an alcoholic, right? So none of that is made clear. None of that makes sense to him. This world doesn't seem to make sense to him. It's all just big and bad and scary. And from a child, when you don't see any real safety in your community, because I don't think he does. Like, I don't think he finds safety anywhere, whether it be at school, whether it be at home, because there's no one showing him that support. No one listens to what he has to say. He's just told to be careful about everything. He just threatened all the time. Like, he's just living in this world of danger all the time. And that has to stunt an individual's growth, right? His mother keeps having children, and also is overwhelmed by all this, getting letters about Erdogan running away from school, which then affects her income because the government threatened to cut that off. She doesn't have that real support. The government doesn't show them that real support. Everybody in the community just constantly threatened, like not shown, not directed, because she was also a teenage mother, not directed on how to perhaps manage everything, how to perhaps nurture her children. It's like, if you don't make him do this, then your money's gonna get cut. But she doesn't have the skills to do it. Yes, one can argue why she keep having children. I don't know either, but it is what she knows. So we can't criticize that part too much, because people only do what they know at a time. It saddened me a little bit, because the boy he's bright boy, he's very, and there's so much going on internally that he doesn't even know how to begin to express that outwardly. And because there isn't really anybody guiding him on how to do it, like, or teaching him how to fully express himself, to let them know what is going on. Everybody's telling him, don't do it, stop doing it, as opposed to asking him why and how do you feel. It's a great documentary. I believe it's shown in all over the country, in every state, but you have to check on their website, inmyblood.com. It runs inmybloodiruns.com, to see which cinema is showing in your town. I believe in Sydney here is showing, that's where I saw it, in Newtown at Dendy Cinema. The tickets are, I think, $20 something, and concessions are $18 if you're a student like myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.